0.7 centimeters or 7 millimeters. So it's going to be 7 millimeters by 6.5 to 7 millimeters. You want it relatively square. What you're going to do at that point is you're going to then measure to the top edge of the hole, which is here. Okay? You're going to measure that with the measuring tape, and then you're going to take your piece of dowel here. You'll mark that off and you'll cut the piece of dowel to that length. Now, before you do that, or after, regardless, you're going to need to shave the dowel down because it's a little too big to fit inside of the pipe. But you don't want to shave it down too much because you want it to be a really tight fit. I used a piece, I put this in a vise, and I used a piece of coarse emery cloth, going to medium emery cloth until I got the right diameter. And just keep sanding it down all the way around so it still stays round, still stays circular. Once you have that plug cut, and it will look a little like this, you'll stick that in the end of your pipe, okay? And you can see here it goes in like that, okay? That's a test fit. Make sure that it fits. Once you know that it fits, what you're going to do is you want to shave a channel into that wooden plug. You want the channel to be about 2 millimeters deep and about 4 millimeters wide. It should be the channel should be relatively close to the same width as the hole you just made in the copper pipe. That's going to be the air channel. Can you see that there? Yeah. So mine is rectangular. The optimal shape for this would actually be if it is slightly smaller on the end that's closest to the edge and slightly wider, again, not exceeding the size of the hole on the interior side. And what you want is to be able to blow into it and for air to be able to pass through. So once you've done that, and this is going to take some adjusting, so don't worry about getting it perfect. So you put that in. The next step is you take that piece of pipe, now with the plug in it, with the channel, and you'll put that in a vise. And this is the difficult step. So what you're going to do is take a flat screwdriver. I have one over here. There's a flat-headed screwdriver, like that. And you want the screwdriver head to be ideally exactly the same width as the window that we're creating here, the square window. So this will be in a vise with the hole facing up. And what you'll do is you'll take the square, you'll take the flat edge of the screwdriver and you'll put it inside that window and you'll start hammering on it gently. What you're trying to do is to press this edge down here, this edge here, and in order to make a maybe I'm trying to show you a good angle on it so you can see. In order to create a depression, you want that edge to be in the stream of air going through this wooden plug. Okay? That's what actually makes the noise. In a flute, in a transverse flute, the hole, when you blow across this air hole, the air splitting on this edge here is what makes the noise, is what makes a sound. It sounds like this. In a fipple flute, or a vertical flute like we're making, this edge that we're trying to sink down here is what actually makes that noise. That's where the air splits. And it doesn't have to be razor sharp, but it should be thinner than the thickness of the pipe. So what we're going to do is, after you have depressed the edge down, and you want it as flat as possible, that's why we're using the edge of a flathead screwdriver, because it's flat. So you want it as flat as possible. And after we've done that, then you can take your shaving tool, your copper chisel that we're using, and you can try to smooth that edge out as much as possible. And you want to make sure that when you look through the air channel in the wooden plug that you created, that you can see just the lower edge of, so you can see only the edge, the lip that we just created. The lower edge of the lip should line up with the lower edge of the air channel. Okay? And this is going to take some tweaking, because what will ultimately happen is that when you blow into it, you want to hear this sound. It's a whistle. You want to hear that whistling sound, and that's just going to take some adjustment. It's an art, so you just have to play with that. Once you get that, what you'll want to do is you'll take the end of that pipe, the other end that doesn't have the plug in it, and you'll put it into one of these female to female half-inch copper pipe adapters, and it looks like that. Okay, and then you'll apply a little bit of flux around the joint, and you'll solder it together. And this makes the mouthpiece very solid, and allows you to make all different lengths of and pitches of pipe, which correspond to different keys of Tinwhistle. So this is the mouthpiece again. You're gonna have to just play with this until you get a sound out. If my description is not sufficient, there are a number of very good websites on the internet that describe how to make this. It's called a thipple, or the mouthpiece of a tin whistle. And everybody seems to have an opinion on the best way to make these. So you should hear this sound. And now on to the construction of the body.